The mayor did take action on another issue today, or rather he said the city will not take action. Actually, they can't take action. Look, here's the headline. The city of Portland will not mandate police officers to get the COVID vaccine. Every other city employee, they have to get it. Police, no. The mayor blames new guidance issued by the state, but not everyone's reading that guidance the same. Maggie Vespa here now. Now look, the Oregon Health Authority, they issued the new guidance and they talk about who's covered under the mandate. And the guidance literally says when talking about police that they are, quote, probably not covered.
Probably not.
Right.
This is official guidance from the state. It says probably not. And at this point, the city is taking that to mean they can't mandate police officers get the vaccine. At the same time, Multnomah County says specific to deputies, they're reevaluating whether they can mandate that, but they called the wording confusing. And then also there are lawsuits against the state kind of taking aim at these mandates, and this is definitely giving those some new fuel.
With its ICUs still overwhelmed by COVID and more than 1,000 new cases being reported every day, Oregon's vaccine mandates are back under a legal microscope, and the view is murky.
That is not helpful. That is not helpful guidance at all.
Attorney Dan Tennell is currently suing the state over vaccine mandates, and even he's confused by the Oregon Health Authority's latest guidance. Issued Friday, it states police officers are probably not subject to the state's mandate that all healthcare workers get vaccinated because, quote, it is likely not a fundamental part of their job to provide direct or indirect medical care. Officials had previously argued law enforcement officers were covered by the mandate because they're trained to provide basic first aid.
What did you think when you read probably not?
That's not really an answer. Probably not is a guess.
As a result of the state's new guidance, first reported by OPB, the city of Portland now says it cannot include police officers in its employee vaccine mandate. Mayor Ted Wheeler telling KGW in a statement, quote, I am disappointed that we can't hold all of our city employees to the same vaccine requirement. But he added state law prohibits it. Staff with Multnomah County aren't ready to write sheriff's deputies out of their employee mandate. A rep writing, we have reached out to the governor's office and the OHA for clarification because the guidance was confusing.
I'll likely get fired over this video.
The shifts are just the latest examples amid mounting pushback against vaccine mandates. Earlier this month, Oregon State Police placed trooper Zachary Cowing on leave for blasting the requirement on Instagram.
I have personal and religious reasons as to why I will not take the vaccine, but also the freedom to choose not to.
Days later, dozens of state troopers and firefighters filed a lawsuit against the state and the governor, declaring mandates unlawful because they violate state and federal rights to freedom of expression. Tennell is the lawyer behind that lawsuit, and he says no one is denying COVID case rates are dire. The Oregon Health Authority reported 5,800 new cases of COVID-19 over the Labor Day weekend, and Governor Kate Brown defended vaccine mandates again Tuesday.
COVID-19 is still very dangerous and unpredictable for those who are not yet vaccinated.
Still, Tennell argues first responders who have signed up to serve the public shouldn't be forced.
What do you say to people who are undoubtedly sitting at home, they're listening to this and they're just fed up and with vaccine resistance, and they say, no, this is how you serve people, by getting vaccinated, protecting yourself, protecting others?
That's the answer for them, but that doesn't mean they should impose that opinion on other people.
Now, it is worth noting, because this isn't complex enough already, that state troopers are covered actually by two mandates. There's the healthcare worker one, which is now in question thanks to this guidance. And then there's a second mandate that all state employees, everybody, gets the COVID vaccine by October 18th. And right now, that one still stands. And Dan, that's what this lawsuit is going after.
Back to Portland Police, though. How do they feel about this exemption?
Yeah, so the labor union hasn't gotten back to us, and that's pretty rare. They're pretty vocal, as you know, so I'll let you know if that changes. The Bureau itself is not taking a stance on this vaccine mandate. And they also told us they don't have hard data as to how many officers have gotten the vaccine at this point, but they believe most Portland police officers have.
Now, we were talking about this earlier, how this bit of new fuel might inspire some other lawsuits.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the one lawsuit already. And then that lawyer that I talked to, Dan Tennell, he said, my phone has been flooded. He estimated 500 calls from state employees across Oregon. And we're not talking about law enforcement. He said the Department of Forestry, DHS, ODOT, and he told me he expects to file more lawsuits in the coming days.
Not surprising. All right, Maggie Vespa, thank you.
Sure.